Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Pownell Select Board Meeting, regular meeting at the Town Office, February 9th, 2023. It's 6 PM. I'd like to call the order. Board member roll call.
Angie Rowling,
Jamie Percy.
Bob Jarvis.
Brian Harris.
Mike Gardner. Approval of the agenda. And on the agenda, I have some additions tonight, please. I need to add a forensic audit update. I need to add an informational situation about the water situation at Pownell Estates, formerly Elta Gardens. And I need to add a liquor license, please. So I'd like to add the audit and the water situation after we do warrants, and the liquor license after we do excess weight permits.
Motion to approve with changes.
Well, let me go through the rest of it. Public comment, approval of minutes, audit, water, warrants, correspondence, excess weight permits, liquor license, Friends of Pownell short presentation, 5 to 10 minutes, Solomon Wright Library new director introduction, P27 large gathering permit application, public comment, and adjourn.
So moved. With changes.
With the changes?
With changes, yes.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. So open up the public comment, Hannah, if there is any?
Don't see any hands.
Okay. Approval of minutes of January 26th, 2023 Select Board Meeting.
So moved,
Second it.
Any corrections, additions, comments? All those in favor, Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Abstain, wasn't here.
Mike? Aye. Warrants, accounts payable, 2/3/23, $17,211.98.
So moved,
Second it.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor? Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Accounts payable, PV1 upgrade, 2/5/23, $53,598, $598.40.
So moved,
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor, Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Accounts payable, New Town Hall, February 4th, 23, $14,517.58.
So moved,
Second it.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor? Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Payroll 2/3/23, $14,639.48.
So moved,
Second it.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor? Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike abstain. Payroll 2/10/23, $11,912.02.
So moved,
Second it.
All those in favor? Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Accounts payable 2/10/23, $30,969.30.
So moved,
Second it.
Questions, comments? All those in favor? Angie?
aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Is Rebecca in? Yeah?
Hi.
Rebecca, we set it up, I don't know if you know, we set it up the audit first, the forensic audit update
Oh, okay.
first.
Okay, great. Well, it is my absolute pleasure to come and give this update because as we all know, this has been what, 4 years at this point, ongoing. Just for background, in case people are watching this meeting several years ago, internal auditors and a select board member or two came to the board with what they believed to be finding some nefarious things. The board at the time hired a forensic auditor to perform this thing, and it went on forever. We weren't able to talk about it for many of those years just because it was in essentially legal jeopardy. However, we've been much more open about it. We had to hire a second forensic auditor to correct portions of his quote findings. And one of the things that happened in this entire thing is we filed a complaint with the state of Vermont, the Office of Professional Regulation, and that they did bring charges against him. And there was a hearing. I testified, we presented all of the evidence, and I received all of the findings today. And I'm very pleased to announce that everything we asserted was found to be true. I want to read a couple aspects of this just so everyone knows specifically. I think I'm really glad to see Ellen is there today, actually, Ellen, because this really had a very negative impact on her, this entire thing. And the more people that know about this outcome, the better for all of us.
So Rebecca, just one thing before you go any further.
Sure.
I want to be absolutely clear that these findings were given to you, to the town today. We had no prior knowledge of any of these findings up until today.
Correct.
So
I got this afternoon, which is why I had you add it.
That's right.
I didn't want to wait. I wanted to make sure this hit a public meeting and that this was all of this. I'm obviously not going to read the entire docket, but I have highlighted some parts that I would like to make sure are read into the record and are being read at a public meeting. So again, this is from the state of Vermont, the Office of Professional Regulation. That means that it's a hearing, not a trial, but he is essentially tried by a board of his peers. So this entire case was evaluated by professional accountants that serve on this board, and it was prosecuted by a lawyer, obviously. And so the conclusions are that he is in 3 different violations, and I'm going to summarize them. So violation 1, the evidence established that the respondent committed unprofessional conduct and violated VSA section 129A(b)(1), failure to practice competently by reason of any cause, including unacceptable client care. Regarding incident 1, that incident 1 is the town of Pownell. There was another complainant as well. Regarding incident 1, the respondent failed to perform his obligations under the contract with the town of Pownell in terms of the timing of his performance, the respondent's failure to satisfy specific tasks for which he was obligated, the ambiguity created by his contract and his eventual report, both of which created a disparity between the expectation of the town and the perceived obligation by the respondent, and the failure of the respondent to seek and secure a written modification of the scope of work. It goes on and on. I'm going to skip to, sorry, that's actually the conclusion. Sorry, it's all a mess. The violation number 2, the evidence establishes that the respondent committed unprofessional conduct and violated 3 VSA section 129A(b)(2) as well. Failure to practice competently. Regarding incident 1, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants has developed professional standards for certified public accountants, which are set forth in the Statement on Standards of Attestation Agreements. And those are essential standards of acceptable and prevailing practice in the profession. It was determined he did not meet any of those standards. Violation number 3 is the same section of statute, but it's 129A(b)(15), failing to exercise independent professional judgment in the performance of licensed activities when that judgment is necessary to avoid action repugnant to the obligations of the profession. So, I mean, it goes into details here. This is a public document. I've given it to you for your packets. And then they did charge him, and they ordered, here are the orders in accordance with the findings and fact of conclusion of law. The board does order that the respondent, so that is Mr. Graham, or the forensic auditor, right to renew his license is indefinitely suspended. So he had allowed his license to lapse last year and he is now no longer to renew his license. So if he had still had his license, it likely would have been taken from him. He has also been ordered to pay a fine of $1,000 to the state. He does have a right of appeal. I don't know if that will happen or not, but it's pretty definitive. And what I found really interesting about this is that because this isn't the town of Pownell against Jeffrey Graham. This is the state of Vermont against Jeffrey Graham. And it was a board of accountants who brought these charges and evaluated his work and evaluated his quote unquote final report, which is where all of our objections were. We received a lot of really nasty conjecture regarding that. And it just feels really good to come here and be able to report to you that all of our suspicions, our concerns, the reasons why we held everything back for quite some time, the reason why we had to remain tight-lipped, all of it was validated and corrected, and it's correct. So it's like this is one of the very first things I ever worked on in working for the town. So it feels like we finally arrived somewhere. So if anyone has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. But it may not be, he may appeal, but ultimately this is a really great outcome.
So, can I chime in?
Sure, Bob.
Sure. So one thing I want to say is thank you, Rebecca. That's a really excellent work. We wouldn't have got to this point without her detail and without her follow-up on all of it. And secondly, I think we do need to explore what that means in terms of cost to our taxpayers. I think our taxpayers paid a lot of money for actually a negative outcome. It created havoc in Pownell. This created a whole lot of finger pointing and conjecture and undermining of individuals who absolutely didn't deserve it. I think we need to, I would suggest that we talk to Bob, our lawyer, and see what, if we have any other courses of remediation.
I can do that if the board wishes me to do that.
So I want to strengthen your point, Bob. I was not involved in the initial part of the hiring and the forensic audit. I want to say that this board, because we're all the same members minus Ronnie, but you were on the initial hire, Brian was, okay? We took some pretty major abuse about why we were so tight-lipped about this. And obviously we were tight-lipped because we as a board felt that what the town of Pownell, not the board, it's not what the board got from the forensic audit. It was what the town of Pownell was getting for the money that was being spent.
Correct.
We were tight-lipped. We had to be tight-lipped. We couldn't bring this out in public until now, to be honest with you, till today. What our stance was totally justified. We knew that just in the meetings that we'd had with various people and our own lawyer. So it is great work. It's really good news. It certainly doesn't take away the stigmatism that it put on some town employees. It's not gonna, it will never remove that, but there is a little bit of vindication, if you ask me about what happened. So I totally agree with Bob. I think we should pursue legally, what our options are at this point. We've already spent a lot of money on it. But I'd like to see if we can recuperate some of that money.
Yep.
that we spent.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And just to remind the public that we've spent close to $100,000 on this matter. If you're including what you've paid me to work on this, if you're including, we had to hire a second forensic auditor to correct what we knew were false allegations and unquantified allegations that would have really ruined someone, which we absolutely had the moral imperative to do. So that it's not a small amount of money. And so I'd like to pursue with passive as well. We have had our legal fees covered recently. Maybe this is open for that. now that there's actually a judgment, we might be able to recoup some of these costs. And I can start investigating all that for you guys and come back to the next meeting with some ideas.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments?
I just want to point out that it wasn't our choice to remain silent about this.
No.
It was a legal matter, and we were legally bound to remain silent until it was adjudicated.
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion to have Rebecca reach out to Bob Fisher and see where we stand with this situation.
I'll make that motion. I make a motion that we authorize Rebecca to reach out to Bob Fisher and explore our legal options on remediation.
Second.
Any more discussion, comments, questions? All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike willingly, for sure.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be back.
Oh, yeah, you're up right now with the water, so keep going.
Oh, we're doing it right now? Oh,
Yep.
okay, great. All right, hold on. I gotta switch
Get
my
it done.
papers.
Get it done.
All right.
So,
All right.
so let me, I wanna, so
Yeah.
we've been dealing with this again for, excuse me, a water situation or potential water situation again at, Pownell Estates, formerly Alta Garden Estates. Fred Miller came to me, last week, I believe. I don't remember the days. They all run together now. Fred and I met here. He's working on a case down there as well. So I'm gonna let Rebecca take it from here, but this is, because things have been out in the paper, and I want the general public to know that we haven't pushed it away as we've been accused of doing. So here's where we're at.
All right, so I apologize. A lot of this is maybe out of order, but I'm just gonna go through the notes that I sent you. I spent the day on this issue, aside from when I got the docket from the forensic audit judgment. So I spoke to literally everyone that I could on every level of this matter. So I've contacted the DEC. The DEC is working closely with the park owners there. I spoke with GJ Garreau, who we're very familiar with. He's been working with us, the Green Mountain Racetrack. He also, you didn't put it on the agenda, but I do have a tiny little update about that at some, I'll say it in public comment maybe. I spoke with Scott Fletcher, who also goes by William Fletcher. He is the plumbing inspector for Rutland Fire and Safety. And he went down to the site on Tuesday and inspected what was going on. He went to 3 different trailers in different locations throughout the park to see what was going on. He visited the trailer of the most recent complainant. She wasn't there, but her husband was. Her husband showed him the low pressure that they have, and also showed him some split pipes and said that these had been frozen inside the trailer. So things that freeze inside the trailer are really not the issue of the park owner. That's the issue of the trailer owner. But the other 2 trailers also had similar water pressure issues. And so here is Scott's analysis of the situation. And he is writing a report, an official report up about all of this, and is also been in communication with the park owners. Basically, there's compounded problems down in this park. Number one is when they purchased this park, they inherited a very ancient, decrepit, and not well-designed water system. The pipes are only laid 2 feet in the ground, which does not protect them from frost, especially when there's no snow. So they're galvanized iron, they're falling apart, they're filled with grit, they're filled with silt. I mean, this is just pretty much a non-functioning underground water system. But on top of that situation, you have multiple trailers that are not winterized. The owners have not winterized them. They've not put, there's no skirting, there's not ample banking, there's not ample whatever they need. The park owners actually in late fall went and offered every single person there to come and at cost to the park owners, not to the owners, to heat tape their pipes underneath the house leading from the water stop going in. Several of them took them up on it, but several owners refused the heat tape. One of them saying they don't believe in heat tape. So that's something that happened. The park has been providing drinking water, but that doesn't help with the bathing and the washing of clothes. And that's really what Scott's main concern was. So I'll get to that in a second. He spoke with A1 Septic and Sewer, who's been doing all of the work as needed. In these notes, I've given them to you, all the dates of service. They've been going there regularly. Every time there's a problem, they fix it. There's a new well pump, there's a new well motor. They've replaced several pipes. And then finally, thank goodness this happened just maybe half an hour before, or an hour ago, I finally got in touch with the owners of the parks, and I spoke with the asset manager and one of the owners, and they actually have just found out that they have received 2 large funding awards, both of them from the state level of ARPA funding. And one is to connect themselves to the Pownell Fire District number 2 water supply, and their water operator has been working with PFD2 to make that happen. And the second one is they got the money to literally dig up this entire underground antiquated system, and they're going to replace it completely. So they just started the design phase. They were just given this money. So the design phase is happening now. That's estimated to be 30 to 45 days. And then it's submitted to the state for permitting. I don't believe that's local permitting because it's public utility. And they can't dig till spring thaw anyway. Like, this work can't happen. Like, there's not much they can do until there's a thaw. But they're hoping everything will be approved by 60 to 75 days. That's the hopeful timeline. And then they're going to replace this entire thing, and they're going to hook into this other water system, which we know is a ample water source that provides water to a lot of people. So in the interim, they are working right now and trying to get a 5,000 gallon holding tank. But they don't know that will totally solve it, because it still has to go through these collapsed pipes. That the other problem that he believes is leading to the low pressure is that people, because they're afraid of their pipes freezing, are letting the water drip, and that's placing a burden on the water system as well. So I talked to the owner and I said, listen, the biggest concern here is their lack, hygiene, basic hygiene. So showers and laundry, it's great you're giving them bottled water, and he seemed to not understand that was how bad it was. So he said he would love to have any suggestions that anyone has about something temporary. I wrote this at the end of my report. Maybe we could reach out to the local churches and see if they want to jump in and help somehow with, I don't know. He also thought that maybe he could bring in a used trailer and hook it up to one of the lines that he knows is working, and install like 2 showers in there and maybe a couple coin operated laundry things, so people have somewhere to go and do this. But it is being worked on. It is being moved forward. And one of the most important things that happened, if you want for me to continue to be the contact on this, I'm happy to do so. But we really, all of us talked about the need for every single person who's involved in this situation that has some aspect of it. At the town level, we're receiving these complaints. We hear things through the word of mouth of people at Grapevine, for all of us to be on the same page, all of us sharing our information. So that has happened now. There has been a large email chain created that has literally every pertinent agency involved, that every time we have some new piece of information, we're all going to share it with each other. So we're all updated. We don't have to reinvent the wheel a whole bunch of times. Lastly, I think this is lastly, the owner would really, it's a holdings group. It's called Patriot Holdings, and they own 25 communities in New England. And he said he's done a couple other, he calls this a turnaround project, really trying to turn it around. He's planning to pave the roads down there. He has a lot of plans, and he said he'd love to come into a meeting at some point and give you guys a short presentation about what he's envisioning, what his plans are for down in that space. And I said that'd be a great idea, and we can talk about that in a month or 2 or whatever. So that's the update. I just, we need to know how to talk about it to people, because people keep asking. But it's layers and layers of complex problems, but they are being worked on, and unfortunately, there are no really quick answers to this. Oh, the other thing that they've done is they have personally offered there is a lawsuit that they're engaged in, and there are a couple tenants that are kind of caught in between on that lawsuit, and they offered to those tenants, because they said they feel badly that they're caught in between on that lawsuit, that they've offered them, each of them, several $1,000s, like out of their own budget, to help them relocate so they can extricate themselves from the situation. And 2 of those tenants have taken them up on it, and they've provided them with rent, security, and moving expenses.
Nice.
What was the lawsuit about? You know,
What was that?
why were they dragged into the lawsuit, the 2 tenants?
I'm not going to discuss a lawsuit right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was just curious.
So,
It's a you can look on the court dockets, but it's a lawsuit between 2 unrelated parties to the town of Pownell. So we would not discuss it here at a public meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
so I think with that report tonight, in a nutshell, Rebecca came to me with that earlier today, and that's why we added it. Because we have been, there's been articles again, you know, that the town isn't doing anything. Unfortunately, to a certain degree, our hands are tied with certain things. But the fact of the matter is that the town has been, and we've had continued and constant contact at least since June, when this started, the initial timeline, with Louise from Pownell Estates. Now, my personal experience with her has been nothing short of great. She's very prompt at returning calls. She keeps us updated on things that are going on down there. And in my opinion, them reaching out to us to come to a board meeting, you know, Patriot Holdings, with their plans, I would love to see that. I'd love to hear it. You know, those kinds of things are what the town needs to focus on, to have the residents of those parks in some better living conditions. And it sounds to me like that ownership is trying to work forward towards that.
Yeah, it sounds
It
like.
definitely
they're
sounds that way.
positive. Working on a positive solution, definitely.
Any questions? Any
If you'd
questions?
like, yeah, any question? I mean, and also if you'd like me to remain kind of, you know, this is a very liaison-y thing to do. I'm happy to continue helping organize all that communication to make sure you guys are updated. And if you're interested, I'm happy to continue doing it.
What's the board's pleasure?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, definitely. Keep Rebecca on it.
I don't think I don't think it's gonna become a really time-consuming thing. I think we're
Tara
gonna.
doesn't care. I saw that. Tara's like, no. Leave it for Rebecca. Yeah.
I think as long as we continue to get the updates and we continue to work with people, and then I believe we should set up, I keep giving you all this stuff to do after election.
That's okay. A time for them to come in and talk.
A time for, what was his name? I apologize.
Tim, his name is Tim. And we're talking, I would have him come in after they've broken ground on that water system. Like I'm talking, we should wait a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's see that the plans have started to come to fruition before we listen to his plans. I don't know. It's just a thought.
No, it's true. Any more comments or questions? Perfect. Moving to correspondence, please.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Rebecca.
much. I'll stick around in case anyone has something else for me.
Just one super fast correspondence. It is from Julie. It's a change of date for the rabies clinic this year, so it is different than what was printed in the town report. The vet, I don't think it'd be that date. So the new date is March 25th, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. And it is happening here
Hey,
at the new town office, 511 Center Street. That's all I have. And the new flyers posted to Facebook and their website. And it'll be at the stores too, I think.
Okay.
Oh, Ellen.
That's the end of March, right?
Yes.
I would make some of those flyers and have them at town meeting too.
Good idea.
Because it's in the town report.
Right.
So the people that at least show up there, they can pass the word, because not everybody.
Yeah, good point. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Helen. Excess weight permits. I think we have 2 of those.
2 already signed by Joel. This one is Renard Bros. Inc. It's a fleet. And this one is Newport Sand and Gravel Co. and Carroll Concrete Co.
Make a
That's a
motion,
free permit too,
A
correct?
fleet, yep.
make a motion to accept both permits.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. We have one liquor license.
I actually have one liquor license, one tobacco license, and one tobacco alternative license, all for Stewart's.
Make a motion to accept the, all three licenses
I'll second.
dated.
Any questions or comments? Now I don't believe these have to be signed anymore. They're just approved by the board. Okay. All those in favor? Angie,
Abstain.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Okay, so that brings us to the Friends of Pownell for a short presentation.
So I'm gonna hand these out to you so we can make it shorter.
Would you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Karen Belize.
Thank you.
We know who you are, but I wanted to.
Yeah,
Thanks, Karen.
unfortunately, I'm gonna give you one to share, okay? So I just want to start by telling you that Suzanne is with me. We're on this committee together, and we're actually new members of this committee. Just before COVID started, the whole board switched over. Come over.
Better, yeah, please. We can hear you better.
The whole board literally changed, so we have new members. So this committee has been going on since 2008. And they started by supporting the 250th anniversary of this town, I believe. And so they gave assistance to print T-shirts, mugs, commemorative calendars. They, I guess, supported the time capsule and the reprinting of Joe Park's book. And supported a new community garden on the Bartlett Lodge land. Did you find that out here when you were digging? I don't know.
I'm aware.
So anyways, Suzanne and I joined, were asked to join this committee in about 2019. And what this committee has historically done is had a candidate forum evening only when there have been candidates running against each other. So this year you have nobody, there's no real people running against, contested races. So, and last year, because we were new to this committee, we just kind of did not have the momentum to put into place a candidate forum. But we really felt it was important that we meet with you to let you know that we are out there. We don't have a lot of money. We did support the town picnic. We bought lemonade. And cups for the day. I spoke to Mrs. Boudreau, and that's what we came up with. So we have talked to Tara a little bit about possibly when the fire department is hopefully redoing thinking about doing their building, that we could purchase a sign to put out so people in town would know what is going on in the community. So it's right there in their faces as they go up and down Route 7. And that's about it. And we meet once a year. So we're not a real big committee, and we're not political, right? Not political. I mean, yeah. So the other people are Jason Molansky, David Fole, and Jackie Sedlock. So, yeah. And the committee, again, has completely switched.
So you have 5 committee members now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And anybody wants to join, you're
How many
welcome.
did they have in the past? Just curious.
I don't know.
We don't know, 5, I mean, I
All
think.
I knew was Rosemary.
Yeah, they had Rosemary, Ruth Botstow. And there was somebody else, there's another.
I was just curious, that's all.
I mean, I went to one of those meetings, it was before COVID, and it seems like a fog to me, but yeah, there were just the 3 of them and myself and David.
Yeah.
And then they resigned and we were all left. David and I were left, holding the bag.
It didn't seem like they did many things other than the candidate
Yeah,
forum or whatever.
yeah. So we were kind of holding the bag. So we asked Suzanne and Jason and Jackie to join us, so.
We were talking that we're not, people really can't come to us for money or something, but
Right.
we'd like to help different groups in the town and things like
Yeah.
that. And one of the things I heard recently is the ball field in North Pownell now is owned by the town.
Yeah.
And I think it needs a lot of work. I don't think we can sponsor a team or anything like that, but We were thinking if there's a refreshment stand, we could donate something to, machine equipment or something
Yeah.
like that. That's something that we could help with.
Okay, just like that. Yeah, we just want to help the town and not be political, so.
So one of the things I, you know, and I'm gonna throw out and let the board decide on this actually, is, you know, we do have the town website.
Yeah,
So if you were to come to Tara or Hannah with something, a function or something that you guys were doing, I wouldn't have a problem, you know, if you came to them and asked them to put it on our website.
Yeah.
You know, at least get something out there. I'm, you know, I don't know who uses it, but, you know, whatever, 5 people use it, maybe 5 people are gonna see what's going on.
The
yeah,
thing about the sign, we were thinking that it would be great to have, you know, like you drive into towns and community event is happening here and here and here.
Yeah.
There's been several times things are going on at the school that I didn't even know about. But if we have a sign out by the road that says, on August 5th, this has happened such and such a place. we think-
No, I think it's a great idea.
and we do have a mission statement, which is at the top. I just want to make sure you see that, because David Fail was very instrumental in putting that together for us, so.
Yeah.
Is to support and build positive community spirit through supporting effective communication and dialogue while encouraging greater citizen involvement in town activities and other nonpartisan, quiet, good works or a positive community spirit.
So I want to say that I think that falls into everything that
We've been working on.
we've been
Working.
pushing for
I think so.
at least the last 3 years that I've been here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right,
We've
Mike.
been pushing for that for a while, and it falls right in place with everything else that's been happening in town. So, which really, it makes me feel really good that, once again, there's another group that's coming into
Yeah.
town that wants to do the same exact thing that's going on now.
See, our concern was that this committee had been around since 2008. We never knew about it. You never knew about it. I never knew about it.
Right.
Until they asked me. So we thought it was important to get our mission statement out there and let people know we're in town. So.
We can apply for grants and things like
Yeah,
that.
that was the other thing. I had called Tara because we were going to have the forum at the school and we had to submit an insurance form. So would that be something the town would be able to cover? Like, no, we're not going to have it this year because we have no people running against
Talking
it.
about the candidate forum.
Yeah, so you have to have an insurance form, so you have to, you know, kind of come off of another, I mean, we could get event insurance for one day, but that would be something that we would come to the board to ask.
Is it the town past practice that we have done that?
You have done that for things that revolve around the town activity? Yeah, okay.
It's, I just wanted to ask that, well, one is I do appreciate the work that you do. And I think it's part of that is the annual cleanup. That's always a nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
But,
important.
But I do want to ask, I mean, do you have any plans to be a 501(c)(3)? The one thing that I'm concerned about is offering town resources and taxpayer.
We already are, Bob. We already are.
Taxpayer resource. Well,
Right.
so you're saying you are a 501(c)(3)?
Yes, the people in 2008 applied for that and every year we renew that. So when this committee started with the original members, they started the nonprofit certificate process.
Right, and the only thing I'm concerned about is that, you know, it was a great presentation, but we shouldn't be subjectively deciding
No,
website or insurance or those kinds of things. We need to make sure that everything's, you know, dot our i's, cross our t's.
Yep.
And that it's not just that we think this is a good organization. It can't be subjective. It has to meet whatever our minimum criteria is.
so when I come to the board for that request, I will make sure I bring our certificate for the nonprofit.
And we're not asking the town for any money. Or
No, we're not asking you for any
We're
money.
not asking for any help.
The two things that I heard was announcement on the town website and potentially asking for insurance in the future.
No.
No,
It used to, can I clarify that? It used to be when we did a forum at the school, and now the school is owned by the town, correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
No, it's not.
The school's owned by the Southwest Vermont District.
You still go to Linda at the school and ask for a certificate
Yeah.
of insurance from her.
No, you get the application from her. You have to get the insurance, the certificate of insurance from your insurance agent, because we're not a group that has insurance. so to speak, we would have to buy like an event insurance, which is just for one
I
day.
wonder how they did it.
But I think in the past, the town did supply an insurance.
So
for
that was
them.
because we.
We owned it.
Because you own the building.
We don't anymore.
So
SVSU
Would I have to,
system.
could I go up there and get it from them?
You
Okay,
would have to probably go to the central office
Okay.
and see what would happen.
Okay, that's good to know.
Clarifying
Towns
that.
can't do that anymore.
Right, 'cause we don't own it.
Control over.
Because I think there's other events over there that
Yeah,
go
that must be
on.
for anybody
Yeah.
that wants to use the school,
Yeah,
not just us.
Yeah, when we scheduled the town meeting, we had to provide our insurance to them too.
yeah.
It is.
I had to always provide for the schools, yeah, for the school.
Just to clarify, Bob, we're not here asking for anything, we're here
No.
to.
Actually, Mike is the one who recommended the website.
well, anything that
Yeah.
is.
Yes, I do realize that.
Yeah, I mean, we're just supporting the community, so we don't want anything, we want to help people.
Any community event, and I believe that's where Mike was going with the website.
Yeah, for sure.
We're community minded,
Yeah,
you know, and that's the thing is, and if you gotta get the information out or the community isn't gonna show up.
that's right.
Yeah.
You're right. And feel part of the community.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, any other questions at all?
I don't have any.
Okay, thank you so much for letting us
Thank you.
talk.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Sue.
Well, so you guys go?
Huh?
I said good to see them too.
Yeah. Now we have our new librarian.
Yeah.
I could have said. Yeah.
Okay. So we're on to the Solomon Wright Library new director introduction.
Damien, would you like to join us?
Come up.
Step right up.
And I need to apologize to you because you sent me an email and I never responded to it. I just haven't had time. I'm not gonna lie.
Incredibly upset.
And I apologize.
It's fine. No worries at all. Thanks for hosting me, everybody. I'm Damien. I'm the new librarian over at the Solomon Wright Public Library. I'll keep it brief to the point. I'm just here to introduce myself, basically. About this time last year, my wife and I were moving from Philadelphia to the area we lived in South Philly. If you guys have been to see the Liberty Bell or the Constitution, okay, that's not where we lived. We lived more like, you think like Rocky running past 50-gallon barrels, flames. Yeah, it was that kind of area. So it's been a big culture shock, but it's wonderful. We're delighted. I have to apologize to you because I don't live in Pownell. We did our best, but I live in Shaftesbury. It took a while. We finally found a place. I just wanted to introduce myself. I also wanted just to let you know some of the things that I've been up to. I spent yesterday afternoon with Principal Lorch over at Pownell Elementary. Went for a little bit and was there for the staff meeting, talked to the faculty. Looking for partnerships with them, like maybe some after-school programs, kind of something kind of to get kids over the library, honestly, so that they know what it is and where it is. But also to get them kind of acquainted with some of what we have to offer. So I've been doing that. I'm looking for also if I'd also like to get more events in the library too, if I can. We closed for the pandemic and then we opened up. We've been without a director for about 7 or 8 months now. I've been there for 2 months. So we're trying to get everything revamped. We used to have a book club and a poetry club and a quilting club. I'm trying to get all that happening again. But if you guys have any ideas, I should talk to Karen, who's one of our volunteers, about the Friends of Pownell, but I'm looking for events to anything to kind of bring folks in. We already do some play groups, which are amazing. And you can probably hear from this building, those kids are enthusiastic. I'm trying to expand our hours over the next year. I'd like to be open 5 days instead of 3.5, which is just not enough. And I guess the other thing I should let you guys know, and I just got 2 other things and then I'll wrap up, but is my other job, I do community outreach for the Bennington Museum. So I've interviewed or talked with just about every social service agency I can think of in the Southern Vermont area. We're really trying both institutions in sort of a similar mission. We're really trying to expand our reach to become a more vital force in the southern Vermont area. So that's something we'd like to develop at the library. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read the thank you letter I wrote. I know it was a little long, but the kernel of that is this year, what we're trying to do, I swear to God, I won't bother you with this too much. It gets a little inside baseball, but we're trying to expand into the local library consortium system, which is called Catamount. It'll be a force multiplier for our capacities in the community, basically allow interlibrary loan to get access much more easily, much more quickly to all our patrons. So it'll kind of be like you go to our museum website, library website, excuse me, and you'll see everything that's available in all dozen libraries in the area. It's Bennington free, huge range. So we're trying to get that. It's going to cost some money. I'm looking at starting a capital campaign for that. I'm going to do like small dollar donations via QR code, PayPal at the circulation desk. We're also trying to draw in a lot of grant money as we can through ARPA and the Vermont Department of Libraries, and the American Library Association. There's money out there that we're trying to draw in for that. The other thing that I'm interested in, I talked about this with Principal Lorge, was, and this is something, as I've talked to other social service agencies and the YMCA and the schools, the issues that persist are many, but the one that keeps coming up is transportation. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make it easier for kids from the school to come to the library, or even from the skate park out here to come over to the library. If anybody has any ideas about that, I would love to work with you on that. So the last thing I want to tell you is that we're looking for volunteers. So if you have a whole lot of spare time in your life, how to reach me. Actually, you don't know how to reach me, but here is how to reach me. Pownalpub at Gmail, POWNALPUB@gmail will go right to the inbox email. And if you haven't been over there since, in the last 3 or 4 months, you really need to see the library. It's quite amazing. It's a much different place. My predecessor, the outgoing board chair, Marian Adalizia, did amazing things. It's really quite remarkable. We have a new board chair now, Jim Bouton, who's doing amazing things, keeping us in a lot of pretty sharp fiscal responsibilities. So I think it's going to be a new day, and we'll have a balanced budget, which we're happy about. Any questions I can answer from you guys? Any queries at all?
I think, I guess for the volunteer thing, I'd like to volunteer my wife. And Anne Marie already
She's
volunteered.
already, yes, yeah, that's true. Anne Marie is one of our most valued volunteers because she comes in on Saturday, which is a true dedication.
That was going to be a question I had for you. Do you offer, and I'm sure you do you offer evening hours for,
We're open till 6.
okay.
I know that Jim and Richard Williams, another trustee, are interested in doing music classes, and I think those would probably have to be after hours. I think that's a fantastic idea. I love that idea.
Well, I was just thinking for people that, need to use the library, that work out of town, that have,
I could not sympathize with you more. I absolutely agree. I would love to expand the hours, but I often, especially being open 2 hours on Saturday. I mean, if you're open, any business that's open or any institution that's open for 2 hours is kind of making a demand more than offering a service. And so I'd love to expand that. Big part of what I'm doing is trying to get volunteers in so that we can do that. I am part-time. So I do have some limitations on how often. I also have another job, and a family. So I'm a little bit limited, but I am trying to expand our hours. I know that's really crucial for people.
Can I send these with you, please?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, great. Terrific. Okay.
I think you may have.
Can I read this later?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You may have one copy down there.
I think, yes, I do. This is great. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, ours is a real thing.
One thing not to overlook also, not to steal any thunder, but they also have a really excellent Wi-Fi. I know it's saved me on a couple of times when we had power outages. The library was closed, but I was in my truck parked in their parking lot with my laptop in my lap, trying to get work done. So really come down for the Wi-Fi. The renovations are complete down there. I know that's been a while. It's been a year and a half, or maybe even 2 years. Time went by pretty quick during COVID, but yeah, so the renovations are fantastic. I mean, it's a nice facility.
Thank you. I have to credit Mary with that, who, did really amazing things, but thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it looks pretty great.
Anybody have any more questions? Comments?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
I'm sure that you've talked with Beth about transportation.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna work something out. I think we can talk to the. Extra stop on the route. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Large gathering permit application P27.
So Paul was definitely on the meeting at one point.
Poor Paul's been waiting this whole time.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Paul.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I was hoping it would work. I just want to thank you guys again for last year. Just over at over Donovan's Pit, just turned out great. I was hoping I didn't hear any negative responses. Sorry I couldn't be there today, but it was turned out really well last year. It was just a great outcome for all the kids. We do a Stasic race on Saturday as well for the kids, and so that was awesome. And yeah, just looking to see about the large gathering permit, and that would be the June 3rd and 4th again with the same exact layout, if that works for everybody else. I applied for that. Oh, I believe it was earlier this year. I applied for that large gathering permit at O'Donovan's Pit.
And he is coming earlier this time so that if there is an issue with dates or anything, you can change it in his advertising and be prepared for that.
I don't believe we had any negative stuff from last time.
I didn't hear any.
Yeah, I didn't hear any this time.
Without a hitch. I know I went down there a couple of times myself, and nobody was racing up and down the roads or anything like that, so. I mean,
I heard mostly positive stuff.
Yeah, last year you came in with all of your paperwork in order. It was 100%. And it was a nice event. It brings something to Pownell that brings a lot of enjoyment, brings some entertainment, and gives kids something to do. I think this has been a really nice event year over year. And Paul, I know you've been out here several years with this, and it's always a good event.
Yep. No, I really enjoy it. Just working with the town. That's why I wanted to try and get in early. And I was, kind of looking to see what I'm doing here. It's people in the town love it so much. Everybody wants to have a race. And with that said, Joe Strohmeyer approached me as well. And I went up and looked at the property up there. The exit in and out on his road up there at he's on Strohmeyer Road. It's another event that he was looking for as well. And I haven't applied for the large gathering permit, but I was hoping it was something that we could do up there on April 30th. Just adding a little extra to the town and seeing if we could make that work as well.
And what would that be, from like 8 a.m. to 4 or?
Yep, that would be just a one day. That would be Sunday only. So that would be 8 a.m. till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes. And I sent a message to, Becky over at the Pownell Rescue Squad, just checking on that one as well. So I'll, follow through with that and then see if I need to do anything else with you guys, but I will apply for that large gathering permit, for Joe's place as well.
Okay.
yeah.
I got one question on this one you have here, Paul.
Yep.
Last year, Saturday, the 11 PM, didn't we have it? Did we go to 11 or did we go to 10 last year?
We went to 11 o'clock. That's when we
Okay.
ended it. So we ended it before, we wanted to try and stay on track with you guys and,
Right. I knew we had discussion on it. I just couldn't remember what time. That's all. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, because it's just considered it, well, I consider it a night race and, we try to keep all the, keep everybody in the dark, I guess, is what we're kind of trying to do. And that's why 11 o'clock actually worked better for the stop time.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember if I know there was discussion about it. That's all. I just wanted to stay consistent
Yep, no, thank you.
with that. So let's do these, what's the board's pleasure on this one?
Make a motion to accept the large gathering permit for June 3rd and 4th, 2023, and, yeah.
And I still have to apply for that April 30th race as well. So I haven't applied for it yet. I wanted to make sure I got your blessing first.
Well, we can't
Yeah,
add
you
that
could
in the
just-
motion yet, though.
Okay.
And you can just send that to me when you have it done.
Yes, I will. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm not so sure that we didn't have that on the agenda,
Oh, did we?
talking about the April 30th one. We have this one on the agenda.
Yeah,
It wasn't on the agenda, no.
right. That's why I stopped my
We
motion.
could have added it before, but I don't think we should talk about that one.
Yeah, I think you should wait until you have the.
Other than to say, turn in an application, we'll discuss it then.
Exactly,
Yep. No, I
unfortunately.
agree.
So, I have a motion. Do I have a second
Second,
for the P27 large gathering permit for June 3rd and June 4th?
yes.
Through Paul. Any more questions, comments? All those in favor? Angie?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Thank you, Paul. You have this one,
Okay, excellent. And Tara, I'll send you the large gathering permit and, with Joe, I'll have him sign it as well. We'll go through that way. And I just want to say thank you guys again for just letting me host another race up there again. It's always a great time. So you guys got a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thanks for waiting so long.
No problem. I love hearing all different avenues of the town. So,
It's gonna be interesting, that's for sure.
yeah, always something new. But thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
okay, public comment. Anybody with their hands up? Tara? Or Hannah? Sorry.
I don't see any hands.
I was gonna say, I have no idea.
No hands up?
No hands up.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Angie? Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. Thank you, everyone.
You're gonna have public comment over there.
Thanks, everybody.